I'm on the phone now with Cara Swetsky. She is a 2014 KU alumni, and she majored in communication studies. And we have her on the phone right now to tell us a little bit about her story and how she got to where she is now and why she thinks KU had an impact on that. So, Cara Jo, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure to have you here, Cara. Okay, tell me a little bit about you, your background, who you are.
So I graduated from Kutztown in 2014 with a degree in communication studies. I concentrated in public relations, marketing, advertising side of things. I currently reside in Philadelphia, where I work in corporate communications for Jefferson Health and Thomas Jefferson University.
Very good. All right. Is that something that you have always been interested in, communications, public relations, that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I always have. When I started at Kutztown, I focused in electronic media, but I became so interested in the communication courses that were offered on the side, so I started picking them up as electives, and I just became so engrossed in them and had such a great connection with the professors there and all the other students that in my sophomore year I ended up switching my major to communication studies, which I can say today was definitely the best thing I ever did, and presenting me with so many different opportunities in my career today.
Awesome. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Let's pretend you're in high school, last year of high school, looking for a college. What made you choose Kutztown University?
What's really funny is that I went to visit a ton of colleges with my parents. We went up and down the East Coast looking at different schools, and nothing ever really clicked for me. I was looking for a college that felt like a home away from home, and so I toured a bunch of different campuses, and I just never felt that connection. And one of my friends was going to visit Kutztown with his parents one weekend, and he said, "Why don't you come with me?" So we went, and it was this cold, freezing cold, rainy day. And as soon as we got there and started walking around and meeting with professors, I 100% knew that this was the school I was going to. I went home with an application that day, filled it out that night, and had it in the mail the next day.
Awesome. So what was it? What clicked? Was it the environment, the look, the people, a little bit of all of that?
A little bit of everything. I loved who I met that day, and when I walked around the campus, you could feel this connection between the town and the school and how everything was right there. It was this amazing little town that came together as so much more. And as I met students who were there currently, I knew how happy they were, and it made me want to go there even more.
That's awesome. So, now you're, I think you said, corporate communications coordinator at Thomas Jefferson University. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So that's a pretty big jump. I mean, you've graduated in 2014, and in 3 years, you're corporate communications coordinator. Tell us a little bit about how that all came about.
So I never expected to be in healthcare, but in my senior year at Kutztown, I went to the career fair, and I ended up coming across an internship with Reed's Advertising, which was located in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I interned there and did I worked there part-time my senior year. And one of my accounts that I was given to work on in public relations was home health care management. And when I graduated, they actually had an opening on the client side at home health care management internally as a marketing assistant. So I moved home just to move back up to Wyomissing and started my career there, working in development and fundraising and event planning. And after about a year there, I was given an opportunity to move to Philadelphia for the communication position at Jefferson. So I've been here a little over 2 years now.
That's really good. So how would you say that Kutztown University helped prepare you for where you are now?
Kutztown just offered so many opportunities that I don't think I would have had anywhere else. I was involved in multiple clubs. I was the president of the Public Relations Club and the vice president of the Communication Career Club. I worked very closely with professors to speak at Kutztown to incoming students about my experiences. I was able to tutor and mentor students in the major itself. And since I've graduated, I've stayed involved with Kutztown. I've been back for speaking opportunities to the clubs, and last year I went to the Dinner with Golden Bears, and I just feel that Kutztown, they wanted to help you succeed. Every professor I came across, every student, every TA, they all wanted you to do well, and they were willing to do whatever to get me to that point.
So it sounds like you're still somewhat active in the university even after you're gone.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love it, and I wouldn't want to be it any other way.
That's great. One of the things the university has been doing recently is trying to outreach not just to Pennsylvania students, but to out-of-state, even out-of-country students. I just interviewed a gentleman yesterday from Japan, and was wondering why do you think that students, maybe even out of state or out of the country or just from anywhere, should consider Kutztown University? What makes us unique from some of the larger colleges, more expensive colleges? What makes us stand out?
Well, I was an out-of-state student. I came from South Jersey.
Okay.
So I even,
So that's a perfect question for you. There you go.
Yeah. So, I loved it. I wanted to go a little bit far away, but not too far away that I could still go home. But just the camaraderie that the students have on campus itself, I don't think I noticed it when I was on campus, but looking back and in retrospect, I can truly say that the student population is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I think it's very rare that so many students come together from across the organization. So I remember working with students on projects and fundraisers and events from all across the campus. It didn't matter our age. It didn't matter what class you were in, what major you were in. I've never seen so many people come together and have this special connection, and it really makes all the difference. And I just don't think that's something you find just anywhere.
It sounds like you made some lifelong friends at Kutztown University.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Great. So any other thoughts that you'd like to get out there before I let you go about Kutztown University? Any special memories that really stick out to you, like fun memories or challenging memories or anything like that, that really make you get a little, get that feeling inside that takes you back to Kutztown?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably my biggest memory from Kutztown was my freshman year. I was asked by Professor McNiff, who worked in the communication program, and he asked if me and two other students would come together and get the communication career club back up and running. And it had been a club in the past, and it was off, and nobody had really, joined in a while. So we took it on together, Professor McNiff and me and two other students, and we started with about 5 or 6 people in the club, and by my senior year, we had over 30 students in it.
Good work.
And that is just something I'll always remember, and we had so much fun and so many good times, and we would go out to local businesses and do fundraisers, and, it's just something that was very notable to me that I'll never forget.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Cara Jo Swetsky, I want to thank you so much for joining me. It sounds like you have a great life, and that was done, hopefully Kutztown University can say that we took a part in that.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to me, and we hope that your chat here inspired some future Kutztown University students.
Oh, I hope so, too. It's a great place.